My life just isn't great, is it? What might be one of my best videos is not doing as well as the other videos on my channel, and worse, I ran out of milk. What a terrible day. I should watch a movie today. And off to Blockbuster I go. I'm gonna rent a lot of movies to watch today, and thankfully, I have this handy-dandy rich backpack to store them all. See, this backpack has a lot of space so I can put anything I want in there, and if it rains today, this backpack's water resistant, so there's no problem at all. And you can get a backpack just like this one at rich.com, and if you go to rich.com/browntable and use the code browntable when you're purchasing anything on the store, you can get 10% off your purchase. How's it going, Chads? Welcome back to Browntable. I'm back from Blockbuster, by the way, and I realized something. I realized that everyone is sleeping on this one film. Everyone always talks about Spider-Man, Far From Home, the Raimi films. Everyone sleeps on the web films. But the one movie that everyone is sleeping on, the one movie that everyone is passing over, is a masterpiece. I don't know why more people aren't talking about it. I mean, look at its Rotten Tomatoes score. People just don't understand art. By the way, the movie I'm talking about is called Poison. Toxin is a movie directed by Ruben Fleischer, one of the most underrated directors working today. I am so sorry, Ruben, if I butchered your name. And yes, at this very moment, we're gonna dabble in a little bit of space cum, and we're gonna watch the movie Venom. So the movie starts off when we're in a galaxy far, far away. Already, we're subverting your expectations. Did you think this was gonna be some trash like the Star Wars films? Give me a break. We're gonna watch something way better, and Ryan Johnson better take notes. So we follow a spaceship which gets a bit of a sunburn and crashes on Earth, more specifically, East Malaysia. The ship is then quarantined and scientists start to surround the ship, and they start to take these things out of the ship called symbiotes. We then cut to something only smart movies do. The two characters are speaking while they're walking quickly to imply that they're talking about something important scene. We get introduced to evil Elon Musk called Carlton Drake, and he is pretty much the most non-cliche villain you've ever experienced in a movie.
It's not good enough. Did we at least retrieve all of the samples?
He's a completely original antagonist. Nobody has done this character before, ever. Riz Ahmed, more like Oscar Ahmed. Congratulations! So J. Jonah Jameson's son survives the crash and he's taken into an ambulance. The thing is that he's been snorting coke the whole time. Wait, that's not coke. So Jameson shoots out amazing CGI and attacks the EMT and the driver, causing the ambulance to crash. But not just that, the amazing CGI integrates itself into the EMT and she walks away into the sunset, or some moonset? And it's a happy ending. The end.
I said knock knock, let the devil in, shotgun.
Oh wait, the movie's not over? So, we fade into, oh my god! Whoa! That was really scary, movie. God damn, don't scare me like that. Please don't. Please, stop. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Stop it.
Missed me.
Wait.
Here you go. You can have it back.
Missed me. Here you go. You can have it back. I love that movies provide escapism, so bad breath and looking sloppy when you wake up is just something that's non-existent. So Mad Max and his wife Furiosa are having a good old morning, and this is a great time to talk about the writing of this film, because the writing in this film is impeccable. I think I've kissed my fingers like 3 times already in this video.
Please do not forget your helmet.
Well, I'm glad that you like it because I plan on wearing it at our wedding.
It's hot.
So we get a montage of Eddie on his bike and footage of his job, and his job is that he heads a news channel. And he's the reporter in the news channel called the Eddie Brock Report. And not just that, but he literally goes out and just reports in a hoodie and reads his notes while he's on air. And I actually think that's the coolest thing ever. Just have a dude like report the news walking casually with just normal clothes, and it feels more real. And I feel like news reporters these days are just too uptight. They're too professional. I don't like professionalism. Just give me a dude in a hoodie that looks like a homeless person. Back to art house cinema. Eddie parks his bike in front of the building where he works, and he talks to a lobby guard, and the lobby guard's like, "Hey, you can't park there."
Eddie, you can't park there, bro.
You park there, I'm towing it. Whatever.
But Eddie's just so charming, and the lobby guard just smiles, and he lets him get away with it. So Eddie goes to talk to his boss, and his boss tells him that Nemesis Musk, or Carlton Drake, wants an interview with Eddie because he wants to reassure the public that the Life Foundation isn't doing anything evil, and the movie really goes the tell don't show route when talking about how Carlton Drake is evil.
He's seriously off.
Why?
He's a crook.
How? Next we get some amazing editing. Look at Eddie's face.
That's what my mom told me.
Are you gonna behave yourself tomorrow?
So good.
So good.
For some reason, I think that laugh wasn't scripted. I think that was just Tom Hardy laughing because he couldn't believe how good his lines were.
Ow. Really? Incident? It's not an incident.
Ow, really? Incident? It's not an incident.
It's not an incident.
It's not an incident. There's also the thing that only good movies do, which is the obligatory sex scene to show that these two characters are in love. So I forgot to mention, Eddie Brock's fiancée works in a firm that represents Carlton Drake, and they have information that Eddie wants to use when he interviews Carlton Drake. All that information is on her laptop, and Eddie does what any sane person would do. He secretly takes the information from her laptop.
We might all live in space.
Cool, huh?
Mr. Drake?
Shut up, you dumb bitch!
It's okay, don't silence her. Sometimes it's what people do. They try and silence those of us who ask questions.
Damn, Drake, chill. Roasting this little girl? Shit. Carlton Drake proceeds to give this little girl, Allie, a pin, and he never hears her question. So we get to the scene in which Eddie interviews Carlton Drake, and he decides to interrogate him in the best way possible, and that is by revealing all your cards right in the beginning instead of having Carlton Drake trip up on his own.
I'm sorry, I don't...
Since your entire empire was built on dead bodies.
Eddie.
It's true, right?
It's true. Right? So because of this, he gets fired.
Have a nice life.
His fiancée leaves him because she lost her job. And not just that, but evil Elon gets some nice-ass slime to play with.
Time to mix up my slime.
Now in China, the amazing CGI EMT lady starts to kill random people and bonds with this older lady, and she starts walking towards, I guess, somewhere. So who cares? 6 months later, evil Elon Musk and Dr. Octopus from Spider-Verse are talking about experimenting with the symbiotes, and there's just some light threats going around. No big deal.
I understand, but
Think
it's
of
an
future
ethical
generations.
question.
Think of your kids. Hey, how are your kids?
In the criminal justice system.
So Eddie's now broke and he's wasting his money on drinks, but he does have some cool people in his life, like this homeless lady who's easily the best written character in the whole movie, and a store owner called Mrs. Chen. Man, I wish I could lend Eddie some money. I think I only have like $5 here. Oh, you looking at this? Well, this here is a Ridge wallet. You can get it at ridge.com/browntable and use the code BROWN. Eddie then gets back to his house, which is rather large despite being broke, and he starts to meditate, but his neighbor plays loud music all the time. So what does Eddie do? He takes a shit in the hallway. Back at Evil Tesla headquarters, or as I like to call them, Alset, they're experimenting with human subjects. These human subjects are actually homeless people, at least that's what Bellwether tells Eddie when she tails him to talk to him about the experiments Carlton Drake is doing. Because of this, we get some more Oscar-worthy dialogue.
Aliens. Aliens.
Yes. We call them symbiotes.
Symbiotes?
Wait, symbiote?
Human and symbiote.
Weren't they called symbiotes?
Symbiote. Human and symbiote.
Which is it? So Eddie starts taking pictures of the meth lab where genetically engineered cat girls are being created and eventually stumbles upon the homeless girl he helped out earlier. She's really horny for him, so he decides he wants to smash and let her out, and eventually they engage in sexual... Wait, wrong script. So she gives him the symbiote. Eddie then escapes thanks to now having superhuman abilities and decides to hide by climbing a tree similar to Caesar in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Fuck you, Caesar. Eddie gets home and starts to imitate me after going on Instagram for too long. Don't worry, it's not the rich backpack. Speaking of backpacks, Eddie starts to get hungry as hell, he starts sweating a lot, and he's eventually greeted by the voice of Batman. We then cut back to the more important story where the Chinese lady starts to stalk a little girl, supposedly because, you know, the CGI wants to embed itself onto the little girl. Food. Back to Eddie, he's looking for Anne and he finds her at a restaurant and then proceeds to go insane.
This is dead.
Dead. All right. Snap out of it! Sir?
No.
Eddie, please.
Eddie's then taken to a hospital but can't have an MRI because the symbiote is sensitive to bad music.
Eddie, what's happening in there?
Dr. Skirth also gets discovered. And this is where a love story between Eddie Brock and a symbiote called Venom begins. So whenever Eddie's in trouble, like a total Chad, Venom arrives to save the day. Eddie can't take a shit on the floor because of loud music disturbing his poop. Venom comes out to shut the neighbor up.
Hey, can you turn your music down, please? Because I'm having a really hard time.
Whatever.
Pussy.
Sure, man. Yeah, I'll just turn right down.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, Jenny Slate dies. Rip. So evil Elon Musk's goons go to Eddie's house to capture Venom.
Hey, Eddie.
Who the hell is this guy?
Who the hell is this guy?
So like an old married couple, Venom and Eddie start squabbling. Aww.
You are making us look bad. Yes, you are. Why would you do that?
So Venom takes out all the Life Foundation security and runs away. As he does this, Carlton Drake sends exploding drones to capture Venom. Didn't they want the symbiote alive? Also, they color corrected the drones to explode in blue flames for some reason, and you can tell that this is the case because when you edit a video to remove oranges and yellows, as that's the color of fire, the natural skin tone in someone's face is gone, and you're left with a gray face. I'm not joking. Look. Why they decided to do that? I don't know. But it looks awesome. Eventually...
Eyes, lungs, pancreas.
What a tease, too. Starts flirting in front of Eddie? What a savage. Anyways, we get back to some amazing writing.
Oh my god, my legs were broken. Now they're not broken.
Oh my god, my water bottle has water. And now... it doesn't have water. So Venom is inside Eddie's mind and knows everything he knows pretty much, and Venom also needs evil Elon's rocket for his plan. And he also calls Eddie a loser.
You are a loser.
We then cut back to the CGI-infested little girl who walks away from her mommy, and that's the scene. Cutting back to Carlton Drake, he's accusing his scientists of not watching over the symbiote after it killed Jenny Slate.
Where were you when it left Dr. Skirth's body? You stood by and watched while it died. The arrogance.
Technically, though, it's his fault as he was the only one there when the symbiote killed her, so... why isn't he blaming himself? Ah, who cares? He's evil. Also, Carlton Drake's jacket. It's slowly unzipping. Back to Eddie and Venom. They're busy flirting, and Venom is acting coy as to who Anne is.
Who is Anne?
That is none of your goddamn business.
Everything of yours is my business, Eddie.
Venom only asks this question because he wants to know what relationship status Eddie is in. Don't believe me? This is obvious because in the literal previous scene with them, Venom tells Eddie that he knows everything about Eddie. So he should obviously know about Anne. Right?
I know everything, Eddie. I am inside your head.
It's not like this movie's badly written or anything. So Eddie wants to give all the photos of Catgirls and Carlton Drake's experiments to his former boss, so the truth about Drake can be revealed. Venom eventually starts to like the city, and love Eddie even more. Venom even tells Eddie what he'll be getting later that night if he plays his cards right. That's right.
Pussy.
Eddie's eventually cornered by a SWAT team, and Venom steps in to protect his bae. Anne then reaches Eddie and sees Venom. Like, she actually sees Venom, and she takes it surprisingly well, and she takes him to the hospital.
Hospital! Right now.
They also don't spot the massive freaking drone right behind them. Cutting back to the little girl, she finally reaches Carlton Drake and the CGI monster transfers to him.
Harder, Daddy. What?
Speaking of transferring, Venom turns into a dog, and then afterwards switches hosts with Anne off screen. Eddie is then put under interrogation after Drake's soldiers capture him, and finally, Carlton Drake has his full chest exposed, his jacket is unzipped. The CGI monster is actually a symbiote called Riot, and he wants to bring his species to Earth. And Venom is his partner. Well, not partner, more like bitch.
He has one up his ass, too.
Meanwhile, Eddie is taken to die, and Venom kills all the soldiers with Anne's body and proceeds to make out with Eddie. All of this was Venom's idea, by the way.
That was your buddy's idea.
Venom decides to help humanity now because his love for Eddie knows no bounds. On his planet, Venom was a loser, just like Eddie, and that connects them on a whole nother level.
Cut the bullshit. What really made you change your mind?
Pussy. Pussy, Eddie.
That's so hot. Drake starts the rocket and Venom and Riot fight each other in the most beautifully choreographed fight, in which both of the characters do not blend together at all. It's like the Transformers movies, in which you can tell exactly what is going on 100% of the time. So clearly in this scene you can tell that Riot absorbs Eddie and Venom. That's very obvious. And then uses sound waves to separate the host from the symbiotes, and Eddie beats the shit out of Drake, but then dies himself. Ooh. Damn. Whew. What a good movie. Fantastic. End credits. Wait, he doesn't die? So Venom actually bonds with Eddie right before Eddie dies and saves his life. Venom then reaches the ship and proceeds to destroy the ship with a spear and says goodbye to Eddie as he sacrifices his life to save his.
Have a nice life.
If that isn't true love, I don't know what is. And that's a reason why I love Venom so much. It shows that love can come from anywhere, be it black cum, or a human, or a dog. It's the most inclusive film I have ever seen, and I love it. Weeks later, Eddie's with Anne, and Venom is actually alive, and they cruise the city and decide to kill this criminal, and cue Eminem. In the post-credits scene, Eddie visits the insane asylum and encounters Pennywise. And that was it, guys. That was Venom, an all-around masterpiece that reflects life itself. Jeffrey! I think there's someone at my house.
Mauricio, calm down. Why are you even calling me?
Call the cops.
Why don't you call them yourself?
Jeffrey, if you don't call the cops, I'm firing you.
You already fired me. I specifically remember you calling me a grade A under A ripoff like 2 years ago.
I think he's here because he wants to steal my Ridge iPhone case, which is made of full-grain leather. Did you know there's a difference between full-grain leather and genuine leather? You see, most places sell genuine leather, which is not the best leather. There's genuine leather, top-grain leather, and full-grain leather. Now this thing is made of full-grain leather, and that's what you should get when you go to Rich.com. Go to Rich.com/Browntable and use the code Browntable to get yourself one of these and get 10% off your purchase.
I thought there was someone in your house. What's going on? What are you saying? Talk to me.
I gotta go.
Wait.
I'm gonna check this out.
Don't hang up.
Well, hello there, Mauricio. Spider Chad? You're real? Like a real living being? Yes. But the living being that won't be living very soon is you. Whoa, is that a gun? Oh, yes. Wait, those are just your fingers. Okay. I believe you. Before you die, I'm in a monologue. Okay. Remember when you got a letter that said fuck you instead of a silver play button? Right, signed by a bunch of directors. Yeah, they're the ones that sent me to kill you. Wait, but you? But you're a Chad. A Chad is supposed to be a cool person, a great person, an awesome person that sticks up for the little guy and gets the girl. Or guy, if that's your preference. But they're paying me a lot of money, and I need to support my aunt. So you're just gonna kill me to get some money? That's not the Chad way. We're supposed to be kind people. We're not supposed to bully or harass others. We're supposed to lift people up. You're right. I'm sorry. Okay. But I wasn't lying. People are out to kill you. Right. It's only a matter of time before they catch you. Not if I catch them first. Wait, who are you talking to? What the fuck?